y'all. I'm here to share a simple idea. As old as dirt. Be careful what you water your dreams with. We're all connected to the earth in much the same way a tree has roots and limbs. And in connecting locally, we benefit the fundamental sustenance of our family and community. And here's how. You might have heard of a carnivore, but a locavore, simply put, is turning back to a more local way of living and eating. So when we buy seasonal produce, we support the growing potential of our local farms, markets, and creative enterprise, and not the convenience store. So family farmers need your support to give them a better return for their produce and a fighting chance in today's global agribusiness economy. So we can connect with our food not just location-wise, but also biologically. For example, when we reap our own harvest, there's a direct chemical reward we feel, noted rightly in an article titled, "Why Gardening Makes You Happy and Cures Depression." So the chemical brain function, this dopamine release, is now recognized as the same stimulus we have when we compulsively shop, called consumer addiction. And I think this suggests a measure of natural quality. And to explore this further, the probiotics within our own body are a lot like dirt. And as Mother Nature Network suggests, we can actually tune up our immune system in the garden by engaging in the unseen community in the soil. And on a deeper note, Chia's Cosmic Nutrition declares that the animal cannot exist without the vegetable. Only plants in the greater soil unlock the veritable miracle of life, making the organic from the inorganic. So the conclusion is that nature knows, and that there's an underlying benefit to connecting with our food. And much research by environmental scientists, such as Wright and Bohr, suggests that we should value local biodiversity and biological wealth. They note that out of hundreds of thousands of plants, we utilize only 7,000, and only 3, wheat, corn, and rice, provide half of global food demands. They go on to say that 30,000 could be cultivated. For example, every part of the winged bean is edible. So have you guys even heard of the winged bean? Because I sure haven't. These are prime examples of why seed saving and heirlooms are so important. This also shows that there may be an unseen cost in the way our current system works. So this is all at the heart of what is broadly called integrated green design. It's working with the earth. We're seeing this in many modern applications, from agriculture and architecture to alternative energy, aquaponics, biomimicry, using everything from algae and fungus to bamboo and silk to create a greener world. So it's learning through nature. And another fine example is mono versus polyculture plantings. And again, Wright and Bohr point to an inherent natural value when they find, on average, low input polyculture outproduces high input monoculture. So again, we can work with nature, like these crops, contour to maximize resources, or against nature, like the damming up of the entire Mekong River, the Earth's jade gem of abundance. So even locally, think about how different the Colorado used to be, or how most developers nowadays come in and clear cut and then have to come back in and landscape, sometimes using the same deer and drought tolerant plants that were already here. So here's a demonstration bed that I planted at home, modeled after Native American farming methods. Tres hermanas, or 3 sisters, a nitrogen-fixing climbing bean, up corn stalks, under which sprawl a ground cover, melon, or squash. So these mutually beneficial systems are copied from nature, working symbiotically to harness it. And again, regardless of party or creed, folks can connect to these small-scale solutions in the garden. It's as simple as stepping outside. So I have this USB here to further demonstrate this natural quality, and I wondered where this USB came from. Maybe its material origin, the plastics from China, or the rare earth could be from the rare earth mines of Asia or Africa. How about its conceptual origin, mobile transferable information? A book? A seed. In the same way a tree writes its wisdom down in a seed, information is now written onto this USB. So, digital information is but a rendering of nature's code. So after all, consider the true cost of all the toxic rare earth elements in our smart stuff. So much like trees can flower to make fruit, the blooming and fruition of our ideas contain seeds for growth. And here's a 1,000-year-old relic at a temple in Qingdao. Actually, the ginkgo biloba is from a time before flowers, and interestingly, it's said to enhance cognitive function. So this is nature's ability to learn dynamically. Of course, our logic is really just a technology for us to better understand, communicate, and connect. So these are some examples of means by which we connect to new ideas, such as wisdom through understanding. And like a seed, the roots of civilization only grow in the light of agriculture. 前人种树，后人乘凉 is a Chinese idiom which translates early people plant trees and later people sit in shade. And it expresses the value of novel thinking. And to step back 5,000 years, Shen Nong, the divine farmer of Chinese legend, encouraged others to cultivate wild grains and vegetables, have a market, and use plants as medicine. 2,000 years later, alongside the agriculturalists, grew the ideas of Lao Tzu, Confucius, and their contemporaries. Now, the divine farmer's kernel of wisdom was transformed into the basis of Chinese civilization. And in China, India, and Mesopotamia, civilization emerged in fertile river valleys. So Kelly Ross suggests that the origin of philosophy is the marketplace, founded on the open exchange of goods and ideas. And Socrates, although uninterested in wealth himself, nevertheless was a creature of the marketplace, where he could in effect bargain over definitions rather than prices. And by the time Athens had bloomed, Plato and Aristotle removed their activities to close schools. And aside from the Stoics in Greece and the agriculturalists in China, most intellectuals isolated their learning from nature. And Ross declares that in attempting to control the elements in a self-serving system, we can forget to work with nature's dynamo. And to finalize, here's a study done by Art Ludwig, illustrating the hazards of our built environment. And on the left, going down, of course, are all the old hazards: fire, structure collapse, and waterborne disease. And on the right are all the new hazards. At an increased rate, cancer, reduced exercise, and environment disruption. So despite improved treatment, building codes, more population, and more government, there are effects of an overprocessed world. Education of the basics should be key, like how to grow our own food. And in reconnecting to nature and each other, we solve more problems than you might think. So in forgetting function over form, our laws and logic can fail to recognize the importance of biocompatibility. The environment we built for ourselves, our society, institutions, communities, and homes need to grow fundamental connection to nature. And in connecting the past to the future, we can take steps now to cultivate a living heritage. After all, the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, but the second best time is always today. And here's a short video to show you how I connected to nature.
We squander health in search of wealth. We scheme and toil and save, then squander wealth in search of health, and all we get is a grave. We live and boast of what we own. We die and only get a stone.
Making things feels good. Whether in skating, design, art, or gardening, creative potential changes the way we look at a space. A new perspective, a different culture. Cultivate roots, spread limbs. Identify native, useful, and edible plants. Share with others and connect with the earth. The earth is a living library and pharmacy. Valley hearths hold the heart of traditional farming practices. Farming the same land over 60 generations. To Despite the urban boom, traditional farmers continue in small corners, making use of neglected public space or waste. Dig up your buried emotions. Revive the garden and homestead. Sprout their saved seeds of hope. Work with the elements. Culture of consumption? Obsolete trash? Nature would say, make it compostable. Wisdom is a keystone in the bridge between past and future cultural heritage. Foster a living heritage. Whether it's Eden's forbidden apple or Buddha's meditative fig, civilization's roots emerged from the earth. So let us take after these ancient sages and seek to foster these living wellsprings of potential in our communities. Thank you.